Let's see if Facebook gets me live. I'm talking today about how I hit a 51K month in my business, working 15 hours a week, and I want to kind of break it down. I want to give you the good, bad, and the ugly, but I also want to tell you why getting to these crazy numbers in your business isn't as far off as you may think. So as you're hopping on and joining us, let me know that you are here. Say hello and where you're watching from. If you're watching on replay, give me a hashtag replay and let me know the same stuff. I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure I'm live and that you can hear me. And as you guys are just hopping on, let me know that you can see me, hear me, and that you're here. Cool. All right. So say hi, guys. I want to know you're here. I always feel like lives are one of those things where I don't want to be talking to myself, right? I want to be talking to you guys. And this is a topic I'm super, super excited about. You missed the news. I was just sharing that in the month of February, I hit $51,000 in my business, which is like crazy, incredible, and a total blessing. And I want to share with you guys exactly how I did that and why it's not that far off in your business. Hey, Melissa, how are you? So again, as you're hopping on, say hi, let me know you're live. And if you're watching on replay, again, hashtag replay, same rules apply. So first and foremost, hey, Kelly, I'm so glad that you're here. I will be totally and completely honest with you. 2 years ago, I remember hearing people talk about hitting these 20, 30, 40, 50K months and literally being like, that sounds impossible. Okay, so if you're one of those people who are standing here right now and saying that sounds impossible, drop impossible, because I'll be totally, not impossible, it sounds insane, right? Like to me, that sounded like a crazy, that's just crazy, right? Like hitting that kind of revenue seems just so insane. How is that even possible? And I remember literally sitting there and being like, well, looking for all the reasons, pulling apart all the reasons why it wasn't possible for me. I'm a mom, I've got 3 kids, I don't have as much time to dedicate, I wasn't running ads, I wasn't doing any of this, okay? Truth, especially when you're in a place of maybe you're making $3,000, maybe you're making $1,000, maybe you're making $10,000, but still that number sounds crazy. It sounds insane. So drop insane or impossible in the comments if that kind of feels like where you're at right now. It feels like, I don't know, that sounds, I just want to get to that next level. I can't even think that far ahead, because truth be told, I've been there, okay? I 100% have been there, and I want to tell you guys that I am not something, I don't have anything special. I don't have anything that was like crazy about me. I was exactly where you've been, okay? Kelly says, I need to pay off about 10K worth of stuff to be debt free, but yes, it feels impossible. Total honesty, right, Kelly? Like I felt the exact same way. So I want to be totally real with you, and I want to share with you guys my story. So for any of you guys who are new here, because we have a lot of new faces in the group, my name is Naza Chaveri. I'm a business growth strategist, and I have 18 years of marketing experience, and I help impact-driven women who want to build, grow, and scale their businesses, do so by leveraging their innovative authority and creating what I call an easy yes lead system. So now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into it, okay? First, I'm gonna break down my numbers, and then I'm gonna go into exactly what it took to get here and why you getting there in your business isn't that far off. So first of all, $51,000 last month. Literally blows my mind. I still pinch myself. I try not to think about it so much. And I'll be honest with you, my relationship with money has always been awkward. So talking about it was very difficult for a very long time. So I want to be real with you. Talking about money still always makes me a little like, gives me those heart palpitations. Like I feel like I'm bragging or I'm being whatever. But I also recognize and realize that the reason I share this with you is because these are all the things I wish someone had done with me. I wish someone had broken it down for me. I wish someone had told me everything that goes into it. And I want you to recognize that I truly believe all of us were put on this earth with God-given gifts, and it's our job to share that, and part of that is sharing our journey along the way, okay? So first of all, let me know if you guys have some awkward feelings around money ever. Drop money in the comments so that I know you've been there, done that, okay? So I want to break down what 51K actually amounted to. And by the way, you might hear my kids screaming in the background because they're home, and that's how it works. 51K broke down to, okay? So in the month of February, I was launching, again, my Sustainable Profit Academy, and that was one of my big generators, okay? So the breakdown between that was I signed 3 one-on-one clients, and that generated right over $20,000. And then I launched my Sustainable Profit Academy again, and that generated about $31,000, okay? So if you want to actually see like visually what that looks like, I want you guys to understand that's how my breakdown comes from, okay? That's number one. Number two, I want you to understand I actually turned revenue away. So the key, I know kids are always in the background, Melissa. This is real life. We gotta, and then that's part of what I'm gonna share with you guys. So I want to break that down too, because I need for you to understand that there's money. People talk a lot about like how they bring in revenue, but they don't talk about one, how that breaks down and what they had to do, what they had to spend to get there. So February was my first official month where I had an ad strategist who ran my ads for me. We spent $1,000 in ads. Okay, so I want to be clear about that. That means I spent $1,000, and from that we can track that I at least made $7,000, which means I 7x that, right? So I want you to understand, because there's a lot of people who talk about big numbers in their business, like hitting 50,000, 100,000, but what they don't tell you is how much they put in to get that money out. Okay, now I am totally about organic strategies, because once you have organic strategies in your business, then and only then do ads really work for you, because it's like putting a megaphone to your message. So it amplifies what you're already doing. But if your system, your message, all the organic pieces aren't working, they're not converting, all you're gonna be doing is throwing money away because you're adding money to something that doesn't work, okay? So I want you to drop throw away, because I want you guys to understand that we don't want to throw away money. We want to invest money. There's a huge difference in how we do that, okay? Throwing away money is exactly the same thing. I'll talk about hiring VAs and hiring social media managers. They're amazing, but they don't typically come with the strategy. You give them the strategy. You can't rely on them to give you clients if you don't have a strategy that works, okay? So that's why I tell people everyone in their business needs a strategy before they can plan on doing anything else that's going to amplify that strategy. Okay, so drop strategy, because I want you guys to recognize that and hear that from me. I dabbled in ads, like very little here and there. I threw money at it, and honestly, I made nothing back from it, doing it on my own a while ago. So I gave up and I was like, forget it. This time I was like, I'm gonna actually build a strategy. So I made sure my organic strategy worked really well first. Then all we did was invest about $1,000 into ads. I made $7,000 from that, okay? The rest of that was 100% organic. Okay, so I want you guys to see that. When you see people talking big numbers like 50,000, 100,000, I've even heard of guys that talk about $500,000. What you don't hear is of that, how much of that are they actually investing into something? There's nothing wrong with investing, but we actually have to see what we profit out of something. So my profit was $50,000 because I spent $1,000 on ads. Make sense? So drop profit, because I want you guys to be thinking in terms of profit, not just in revenue generation, okay? How did you test your organic strategy before the ad investment? Great question, Melissa. I ensured that it converted constantly, over and over again. That means I had launched before, I knew that my organic strategy was on point and it was working over and over again before I threw money into it. And that's what like my ad strategist tells me all the time. She's like, the reason yours works is because you knew what you were doing before you brought it to me, okay? Super important. When people ask me about ads, I am not an ad strategist. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But what I will tell you is ads work when your organic strategy is strong, when your foundation, your message, all of those pieces are strong, okay? So drop strong. You guys are super quiet today. So drop strong in the comments, because I want you guys to hear that profit and having that strength. We don't want to be spending a ton of money. What I see a lot of people in the industry doing is that they have to spend a ton of money in order to make money. That's going to constantly keep you in hustle mode, because no matter what, I talk about this all the time, no matter what, you're going to have to be throwing more time, money, and energy in order to grow your business. We want to get to the point where we're not having to increase so much of our spend, where we can continue to put money into it, but not feeling like we have to put so much in order for everything to work. Okay? So I want to give you like the nitty-gritty breakdown. So I made $20,000 from one-on-one clients, and I made $31,000 from the group program, so my Sustainable Profit Academy. Keep in mind, I turned away 2 one-on-one clients because they were not a good fit for me. So that was over $10,000 in revenue that I said goodbye to. I turned away 4 people from Sustainable Profit Academy. This is important. The reason why I share that with you is impact over revenue, impact over money. I am not in this business to bring on clients who I don't feel like I can actually give them what they need to succeed. So a lot of times that becomes a struggle, and you're going to hear me talk about this. So I'm going to break it down into the 3 like main components. There's a lot of things that go into play in order to scale your business, but the 3 major components that honestly I could break down and everything would fit into these pieces are literally these 3 components. Number 1, I got crystal clear on my value and my belief in myself. And that sounds so woo-woo as coming from a strategist. As a strategist, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would talk about mindset and belief systems because I was so linear. I was so logical. Everything was strategy. But what I realized really quickly was that I could have the best strategy in the world, but if I didn't have mindset that aligned with that and the belief system that aligned with that, my business would go nowhere, okay? So drop belief in the comments. I want you guys to hear this. I want you guys to recognize it, okay? When I teach strategy and mindset. Very important. When I teach one or the other, we don't get to where we want to go as fast as we want to. And you're going to struggle nonstop. So the first thing I did was I got crystal clear on my value and my belief with myself. So truth, when I was making those inconsistent $5,000 to $8,000 months that I told you guys back in 2019, I constantly felt like growth and scaling felt impossible. So that's why I asked you guys, does it ever feel impossible? Does it ever feel insane to get to those big, huge numbers? I was there. I've been there where I literally would look at those crazy numbers and say, that's insane. So I made excuses, okay? And there's no other way to say it. I made excuses. I found reasons why it wouldn't work for me, why 50K, 80K, $1 million in my business was not possible for me, okay? I literally made $50,000 sound like it was something I didn't need or did I want because I was scared out of my mind that it wasn't in the cards for me. And I see so many people who come to me saying the same thing. They're like, oh, I'm not really worried about how much money I make. And that's great. I want you to focus on impact. But I also want you to realize that sometimes we say that to ourselves because we don't believe we can make the income goals we've set out for ourselves. Okay, so I'm seeing belief. So I want you to really, really understand that the very first thing that has to happen is a shift in that. I felt like I didn't deserve that for whatever reasons, right? There's all those reasons that sometimes we get in our heads and we're like, 50K sounds incredibly insane to me. So I'm going to tell myself that I just can't hit those, or those are not important goals to me. I'm not in it for that. And I wasn't in it for that, but I want you to understand. But my belief in my value was stuck at 5 to 8K. So I want to talk about that because when I shared with the group that I had hit a 51K month, somebody was like, a lot of people said that was awesome, but I'm just trying to hit my first 5 to 8K. I'm just trying to hit my first 3K month. And I want to talk about how that actually affects where we're at and keeps us stuck. Because what happens was I was sold on the belief that 5 to 8K was okay. I knew my value at that point. I felt totally comfortable with that. Okay, so drop comfortable because there's comfort zones in everything we do. My belief system was that I was comfortable with the idea of saying 5 to 8K is something I feel worthy of. It's something that I felt like I deserved. It was something that I felt like was easy to me. Now getting my belief system to shift into this idea that holy crap, I could make $20,000, I could make $30,000, I could make $50,000, that was difficult because I was so stuck in this 5 to 8K mindset, this 5 to 8K belief system of like, I can do 5 to 8K, 50K, not so much. I didn't believe in it. I didn't believe that I had what it took to get there, okay? And that really is you having a belief in that idea of like, am I worthy of making 50 to 80K? Am I capable of doing those things, okay? So I had to get out of that. I had to play big. I had to be able to step into my next level self. So I talk about this all the time with my clients too. I say, if you can't sit and look outside of where we're at right now and see the next level self, you're going to constantly play small because you're going to play in the belief system of I can make 5 to 8K. That's all I can think about. I'm worthy of that, but nothing outside of that. Okay, so I want you to drop worthy because I want you to hear that. I want you to recognize that getting to a different level requires you to show up at a different level. Okay, so I really did have to shift that and play big and say, I'm going to show up as my next level self. I'm going to show up as someone who says $50,000 NAS, $80,000 NAS, $1 million NAS looks different. She shows up differently. The way she believes in things, the confidence she has is different. Even if that sounded crazy. Okay? I had to acknowledge that I was put on this earth to serve and impact. And I would commit to serving and impacting at my highest potential. See, that's the key thing about this. You have to be able to serve at your highest potential. But if we're thinking in terms of these small things, small places, we're going to keep playing at our lowest or our comfort potential. Okay? I want you to break out of comfort potential and get into high potential, into those crazy, crazy thought processes, okay? Comfort potential keeps you in this glass ceiling of being stuck where we're at, okay? So I want you to drop comfort potential because I want you to get out of the comfort potential. I want you to move into the crazy dreams, okay? The next level potential. That's what you should be focusing on, is what's my next level potential? What do I need to do in order to get there? And it really was me saying to myself, anything less than that was me being selfish. Me being selfish. And the reason I say me being selfish is if I showed up as anything other than being at my next level potential, I was showing up and giving people only my comfort potential. I was only giving comfort value. I was only giving the things at the place where it felt safe and easy. So are you doing the same thing in your business? Are you sitting here and showing up for your audience at comfort potential? Or are you showing up at next level potential? Like you're that $50,000 earner, if you're $1 million earner. And it's not about income. It's just about recognizing those are just ways that we look at our buckets, right? You could say, I'm the person who has 100 clients. It doesn't matter. However you want to turn that in your head, however you're going to look at success. And success doesn't have to be money, okay? But I'm just, for the sake of what I'm sharing with you here, I want you guys to understand we're getting out of comfort potential, getting into next level potential. Anything other than next level potential is selfish, is me saying, I'm only willing to give this much to my clients. I'm only willing to share the small pieces of me. So I want you to drop next level because I want you guys to really start to understand I need you to get into your next level of potential. I'm going to tell you a story. My client, Allie, she did the same thing. She came to me because she was dabbling in all the methods, all the strategies, because growth didn't feel easy. She had told herself that getting to her next level in her business, which she wanted to hit $10,000 months, was impossible. It seemed so out of the blue. Like it's so past where she could even imagine. She was hitting about $3,000 months at the time. So what we did, we stripped away all of the stuff on her to-do list. We took away all the things that made her feel confused, took away the clarity of what she was doing, made it feel like she was stuck in comfort potential. We took all of those things away and made a super clear pathway to her next level potential. What it looked like showing up like that, what it looked like serving like that, what it looked like impacting like that, and her business exploded. She hit 10K months and her business just kept growing and growing and growing, okay? That's what happens. She was closing 70% of her sales calls. People were raising their hands to work with her, all because she got out of comfort potential and went into next level potential. She showed up with a different belief system, okay? She felt totally aligned with her message and how to share her massive freaking value. And the root of all of that was just a lack of clarity, a lack of strategy, a lack of messaging and positioning, a lack of feeling totally aligned with her next level potential. Having that belief system. It had her playing small, so she couldn't hit her next level up, okay? So that's all part of number one. Number one is having that next level potential, having that next level mindset, belief system. Okay, that was number one. So drop number one. I want to make sure you guys are following along and this is all making sense to you, okay? I'm going to wait for you guys to drop one so I know you guys are still here and with me. And then I'm going to give you number two. There's 3 total things I'm going to talk about today. Number 2, conversions, okay? You probably have seen me talking about this inside this group, outside of this group. I talk a lot about conversions because there's truth in the matter. There's 2 things we have to be able to really feel comfortable in. It's understanding our lead process, how we attract clients into our business, and how we then convert them. Usually people struggle with one or the other or possibly both. And the problem is we often make the mistake of trying to put more time, energy, and money into our lead system before we fixed our conversion system, okay? So let me repeat that. A lot of people are putting more time, energy, and money into fixing their lead problem and not their conversion problem. Now, why does that not work? Somebody asked me earlier, Melissa asked me about ads. The reason why you cannot throw money into ads is ads are a part of a lead system. There's something that allow you to generate leads. No worries, Kelly, I get it. Allow you to generate leads. Now, if I'm bringing in leads, but I'm not converting them, I'm throwing money out the door. So drop door, because I want you guys to hear that and understand that. If we are bringing in leads, but our conversion system is broken, we're throwing money out the door. This is what most people are doing. They're focusing so much on their lead generation strategy, but they have no conversion strategy. Melissa, I have like my whole clients on autopilot system. It's like a drag and drop system. So I use that to track my leads. I can share it with you. It's like $37 and it literally breaks it all down. But knowing what's working for our leads and conversions is super important, because if you are putting time, money, and energy into something and it's not producing results, then we're wasting time and money, okay? So again, I want you guys to understand that our conversion system needs to work before we spend time, energy, and money on a lead system. If I were to say, here's 100 leads tomorrow, would you be able to convert them? Would you have a system and a process that actually works to convert those leads? If the answer is no, then the problem isn't that you need more leads, it's that you need more conversion. You need a conversion process, okay? Conversion process is one of the very first things I teach when I work with my clients, either one-on-one in the Sustainable Profit Academy. We break it down. We explain how your conversion system needs to work and how to systemize and automate that entire process. Everybody's looks totally different. So your conversion system is going to look different than someone else's conversion system, but you need a conversion system, okay? So tell me in the comments below, do you have a conversion system and does it work? That means, are you actually converting clients? So example, I literally tell this story to everyone I meet. There was a time I would get on 10 sales calls in a week and convert 0, okay? I had to recognize that my sales conversion system did not work. I felt like I was horrible at it, okay? I was focusing so much on the money that I didn't really realize that what I really needed to do was focus on creating impact and connection, okay? So drop connection. I want you guys to understand, I use what's called my connect and convert method. I can go from hello, meaning someone just meeting me, to converting into a client within 72 hours. So all of these clients that I landed in my 50K month, out of those, 2 of them were people who had already known me. The additional 10 of them were people who had never met me before. I want to make that clear, because a lot of people talk about conversion systems and their processes, and it can take 90 days. And while there's definitely an importance in having a long-term conversion strategy, like a long burn conversion strategy, you also need a short burn conversion strategy. What I realized was so many people are focusing on this long-term conversion strategy that they don't see they need a short-term conversion strategy. So when I shifted my focus into short-term conversion strategy and focusing on what I call connect to convert method, I actually was able to convert people that had never met me before, guys, like literally didn't even know who Naz Echeverry was. And they would convert into a client within 72 hours. Okay? So drop 72 hours in the comments. I want you guys to hear that. I want you guys to recognize conversions do not need to be some long drawn out process. You just need to have a system that works for you, that really does bait the idea of having short term and long term. Okay? You want to be able to capture both. I have a client who just signed on to work with me a couple weeks ago, and we literally worked on her short-term strategy, and she went from literally only having clients come at the end of the month to now literally making as much money in 1 week as she did in a month. Okay? Huge shifts happen when you create the right conversion strategy. Okay? So pitching sucks. I want to be totally honest with you. I hate pitching. Using these pitch methods and using these methods that feel sleazy and slimy and I'm just selling, don't work anymore. Okay, I've been in marketing for 18 years and I will tell you that when it comes to sales and marketing, people are looking to build connection. Anything less than that is going to be a pain in the butt. Connection is your number one marketing and sales technique that should be utilized in everything that you do. So if we're pitching, we get stuck in this disconnected process and we end up discounting our services, selling to anyone and everyone, and just feeling like we're not aligned with our sales process. When we shift into creating a sales process that allows us to connect and build relationships, we convert faster and we convert more often. So I told you guys, I literally went from 10 sales calls, 0 yeses, to converting 90% of my sales conversations. 90%. All because I created a sales conversion system. Okay? So drop convert in the comments. I want to make sure all of this is making sense to you guys, okay? So that was number 2. We talked about conversions and focusing on connection above everything else. My conversion system is fully integrated into conversions based on connections, okay? Number 3. So drop number 2. I want to make sure you guys are keeping up with me. I don't want to I know I talk fast. I'll tell you guys a little tidbit while you guys are, I'm waiting for to make sure. My team was, they were transcribing my videos, and they were like, it's funny to watch the transcription service try to keep up with how fast you talk. And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't talk any slower. That's just how I go. So drop 2. I want to make sure you guys are keeping up with me, and that you guys saw that number 2 was we talk about having a conversion system. I did not talk about a lead system right now. I talked about a conversion system. Having the ability to convert more people is something you need to have in place before you have a lead system. Okay? Conversions, then leads. Cool. Got it? You guys are so quiet. I hope this is all making sense to you. So drop a 2. We're going to move to number 3. Number 3, the biggest change that happened for me to be able to hit that 51K month is I systemized everything. Okay? You guys heard my kids in the background, and I've been super open and honest about this. If you guys don't know this about me, I'm a mom of 3 kids. During the pandemic last year, I made a decision I wanted to scale my business. And that decision literally went crazy when 3 months later after I'd made that decision, pandemic hit. And my 3 kids were home, and I was homeschooling, and life got crazy. I had 2 choices, and I shared that with you guys with the post today. I had 2 choices. I could either say, I'm gonna take a step back and decide that right now I just can't scale my business, it's not possible. Or I can decide to commit, and I can decide to be intentional with how I just use my time. So I went with the latter, as all you guys know, and I made a decision to completely commit to my scaling my business and to growth, but also committing to systemizing, committing to being intentional with my business. So that's exactly what I did. I grew my business massively in 2020 because I systemized everything, okay? As soon as I finally realized that time was my most valuable resource, I stopped spending it so frivolously, okay? Most people are spending their time like it's something they can get more back of. You cannot, if you guys aren't aware of that. So I had to create systems for everything. So scaling to 51K, and last year 30K, 40K, all of that came from creating systems for everything. I created a system for my messaging. I created a system for my authority. I created a system for leads. I created a system for conversions and programs and everything. Everything I have has a system. Everything. And I teach my clients that same system. Not the same exact system that I do, but how to create those same systems for them that works for them and their business, customized to them, okay? So see, systems and strategy are what allow my clients to go from feeling totally scattered and overwhelmed to having massive clarity with organized action that produces better results. Huge payoff, right? So drop payoff, because I want you guys to understand huge payoff comes from having a system for everything we do. And I'm not talking about just about automation. I'm talking about actual systems, a process by which you utilize so you create better results for your business and for your clients, okay? So by doing that, my clients had huge payoffs. Like my clients literally scaled from $5,000 months to $30,000 months. Went from making $1,000 in their business to making $8,000 in their business. Like, it's crazy what happens when you have these key components in place. My client Kelly literally came to me because she was ready to scale her business, but she didn't want to keep spending so much time. So we 3x'd her revenue and cut her time in half, guys. So she went from making $3,000 to $5,000 months inconsistently, working 30 hours a week, and we grew her business to $15,000 months, working 15 hours a week. And before you say that, yeah, Naz, that sounds great, but she's probably in a B2B business, she's serving other businesses, so that's easier to sell. She is not. She's in the B2C business. She works with new moms who struggle with mindset and weight gain, okay? Stop selling your guys' self short. Making money doesn't have to be difficult. It's about having these key components. And this is exactly what I help my clients with, is really creating systems, strategy, and having the belief system behind it so that things work. It's about having a customized process. It's about something that actually feels easy to you so you can scale that much faster, okay? So if you guys missed the post in the group yesterday, I shared that I opened 4 spots on my calendar for next week for pathway calls. Drop call if you want to get on my calendar for one of these free calls. During this call, what we'll do is actually look at your business model. We'll see where you want to go, where your growth opportunities are, like what you want to get to, your vision for growing your business, not my vision, but your vision. And then we'll see where the gaps in those opportunities are, and I'll share with you exactly how I can help you get there, Okay, so if that's something that you're interested in and you're tired of being stuck in this idea of I'm doing everything and it's not producing results, which is just the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, then drop call in the comments and my team will reach out and we'll schedule you for a pathway call. Okay, but I want to make sure you guys understand growing and scaling your business requires a very specific set of things that is customized to your business. If you are doing things and it's not producing results or you don't know if it's working, it's time to get in ahead of that and make sure that you have those systems, those processes, the strategies, the belief systems, all of those pieces working towards where you need to go. Okay? So I want to recap. We talked today about how the three main things that allow me to go to that 51K month is that I had the clarity around my belief myself. Okay? Number two was really honing in on understanding that we have to have a connection. How we can convert, having that conversion system is number two. Number three is systemizing everything. Okay? I want you guys to understand business growth does not have to be hard. I know it feels hard right now and it may feel like 50K months, 20K months, 10K months feel so freaking far out of reach, but they're not. And I say that not just as someone who's done it for myself and who's been there, and I've literally doing this with 3 kids home, working 15 hours a week. I say it because I know it's possible, but it's only possible when you have the right systems, the right strategy, and the right mindset. Okay, so again, drop call if you want to claim one of my 4 calls. I only have 4 spots for calls next week for these free pathway calls. And like I said, exactly what we'll do on it is we'll talk about your vision, where you want to go in your business. And then I will share with you where I see the gaps and the opportunities and how I can help you fix those. And then if it's a good fit, I'll share with you how I can help. Okay? As you noticed, I'm not going to share with you if I can't help you. If I don't feel like I can help you, then I absolutely will tell you where you can go or what your best next steps are in your business. I'm all for making sure we're aligned and that it's a good fit. Okay? So drop call if you're watching on replay or live and you want to book a call. We'll get you guys set up. But do you guys have any questions about anything I've shared with you guys here today? Anything over those 3 things, or understanding why we want to focus on profit and not just on revenue, and seeing how the possibilities in your business are. I am so excited about being able to help people create a clear path so that they're no longer trying to do all of these different things. They're creating a clear path to where they need to go. Most people are wasting so much time and energy on things that don't produce results. That's where our business gets stuck. I've seen people literally 2 years later in the same place they were before because they didn't have the pieces put together, and that's maddening. It's so frustrating for them, okay? So definitely drop call in the comments if you want to book a free pathway call, or feel free to DM me if you don't want to drop it in the comments, no worries. Send me a DM and we'll get you set up. But otherwise, let me know. Do you guys have any questions? I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope that you guys can see your growth potentials. I want you guys to understand, if a mom of 3 with 3 crazy kids home, homeschooling last year could scale my business. And like I said, I scaled to 30K months and actually made 100K in 90 days. I share that with you because I'm freaking proud of that. I really am. And I'm even more proud that my clients are doing the same thing. My clients are scaling their business without feeling so frustrated, without feeling like they're doing cookie cutter tactics and taking on things that don't feel aligned to them. Your strategy needs to feel aligned to you. It needs to feel like something you feel confident in, okay? Any questions? You guys are so quiet today. All right. If you don't have any questions, thank you so much for showing up with me. I'm so excited to be here. And just as a reminder, we run our next level lessons, these level up lessons, once a week. So make sure you tune back in. They're usually on Tuesdays. Today was on Thursday just because life got crazy. But make sure to tune in and let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you guys grow and scale your business, and I'm here to support you. Hope you guys have a great day.